Hey guys, hey Yvelle, this is Toby Morrison here from Melbourne, Australia, and on the other end of the computer or screen is lovely Yvelle from Florida.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Now, we were just speaking before, we were recording this and we were just talking about what you're doing now and how amazing you're doing compared to where you were at before you started the online program. So I appreciate you coming on. You actually just finished work, yeah?
Yes. Yes. I had a long day today.
How many hours did you work?
8.5 hours
And what do
of
you
work.
do?
I'm a pediatric nurse now.
Oh my God. So
I would
go.
go ahead.
You go.
I was going to say I would have never been able to do this for. Gosh, I don't think I've ever worked this long for ever. So, I mean, it's a big change for me.
It's pretty amazing. It's not just an easy job either.
No, no, you have to be on your feet for long periods of time. You're being pulled in so many directions. You always have to focus. Um, I mean, even healthy people can't even do this. So the fact that I can do it.
Well said. I think that's the thing. It's like we forget. And by the way, we'll talk about your past as well. We'll get to that soon. But just quickly,
Right.
like you forget that healthy people still struggle as well.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
such a good perspective to have for you because you're probably doing better than most of the healthy people are.
Yes, I think so because I know how to listen to my body. I mean, I know what to look for. I know when my limits, when I'm reaching my limit. Um, I think I have an advantage, and actually, that's because of you. I'm so strong-minded. I always thought I could do everything, and now that I know how to pace myself, it's much better.
Mm. All right, let's go backwards a little bit because, obviously, it's pretty crazy. Like I'm just so grateful, like to have you in the program. Yeah, well, I just think it's just how cool is it that we can connect, via the internet.
That's true.
Because wasn't that long ago when there was no online program for anyone, and now it's the online program's in like 28 countries, and you were actually one of the probably the first 10 people from America to sign up almost 2 years ago actually when it started.
Yes, exactly. I remember. I think I started in January. The reason why I remember that month was because it's my birthday month, and I'm born January 1st. And
Hmm.
I remember thinking that I couldn't party for my birthday. I was so tired. Um, and it's New Year's for us here, and my friends are out, and I was so fatigued. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And I've been going to the doctors. They don't really believe me. And going through, I was just researching all the time, and then coming across your video, the way it's as if you understood me. And that was the first person. You were the first person who I felt I was alone at first, until I saw your video, and then that's how you caught me.
Awesome. Well, I didn't catch you. You caught yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
But what happened is you applied for the program, and I'll actually never forget talking to you on Skype because we have an application process that you guys have to go through, and you write down your story and you tell us your history and stuff, and then we speak. And I remember speaking to you, and you're like, "Are you sure this isn't a scam? Like, are you gonna take my money and run?" And I'm like,
Of course, because there are so many scammers out there, and
yeah.
I've tried so many different. I mean, I've seen many doctors before, and then even the doctors who are licensed are scammers. They scam me, and I didn't want to be scammed anymore. Even though you were speaking, I feel like you were speaking to my soul. I just didn't feel like I wanted to go through, invest my money, but at the same time, I was so desperate, I would have done anything. You see what I mean?
Can I ask you this question? If you didn't invest in yourself and do the program, let's say that you just thought, nah, like it's not worth it. Like I don't even know this guy. I don't even know the program. Where would you be?
I would have killed.
Honestly.
Bedbound. I would have been bedbound. I actually believe I would have been better. I probably would. This is what I think. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I never thought about it now. Until now. I think maybe I would not have graduated college on time, or maybe I would have dropped out. And I probably would have been bedbound again.
And everything that comes with being bedbound.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how long it would be, but yeah, that's what I think.
So you're saying that if you didn't do this program, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now?
No, I really don't believe I would have. The reason is I had to change my mindset, and because I know the way I think, and I feel like it's hard to explain. I feel if I did not do this, I would have gone in a direction that would have led me to maybe a point I could not return, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in a really bad shape. Really bad shape.
You know,
but I'm glad I did it, though.
I'm so glad. You know, so the funny thing is, for the guys who are listening, I don't actually, with half the clients in the online program, we actually don't have much contact, right? You know, we don't have one-on-one contact. You actually get the coaching videos and you follow the program, which you did. Some people do one-on-one stuff, but you didn't. And I'm just so grateful to hear that, you know, from someone who has done the program, has gone through it properly. And like, look at you now, like you are just killing it. And look, you just look so good.
Yeah, and I feel good. That's the thing. If I can help one person, because I know how bad I felt before, and just thinking of being a person going through what I've gone through, I don't want them to go through that. Of course, it does take. It's not a quick fix.
No.
At first, I'm like, well, this is not going to work. I've done this. I did the whole 8 weeks. You know, no, it really does take a while to build up. You have to listen to your body, especially if you're. And I think we are all like this. I think we are all very how you call it? Very
impatient,
headstrong,
yeah.
And we think we can do it all.
Yeah.
No, you have to calm down a little bit and relax. You have to relax. The stress, you have to tone it down. You have to recalculate. You reevaluate your life, and listen to your body. You have to listen. You have to take the precautions, and then you know, your program along with other things with in addition with my doctor. I'm not going to push that away because that is a big addition. But the fact that if I didn't do it, I don't think I would have been open to listen to a new doctor because it's compatible to your program.
Of course, yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later as well, for sure. For other people who are listening who you know go down that medical path. So, like, tell me, like, how bad were you? Like, tell me, like, where were you at back then?
Okay, so since I would say maybe 10 years old, and I'm 27 now. So I can remember coming home from school as a 10-year-old child, and my mom would tell me this. Okay, I can't really remember everything, but she does. When you come home from school, typically kids want to go out and play, or they want to hang out with friends. I would come home and throw my backpack on the floor and go straight to bed.
Wow.
And then sleep for 12 hours, wake up the next day. She has to wake me up to eat dinner.
You, yeah.
If not, then I would just sleep the whole night. And, you know, we can fast forward a few years later, and I'm like this. A little bit I feel, a couple of months I'll feel okay, and after that I crash again. And I remember in high school, just going to school, I couldn't walk. I felt the fatigue, the pain. It's a pain that you can't even explain. It's just a fatigue that you can't explain, but you know it's there, and no one understands you, and because it's hard to explain, you know. And to the point where I met you, it's the brain fog, and I still have a little bit brain fog, but it's just you can't compare. And you're depressed. People think you're depressed, but of course this is going to make you depressed. Who wouldn't be depressed being fatigued all the time?
Yeah.
You're tired, you're in pain, and no one understands except for maybe your family, maybe one person.
You know,
Lucky.
I think they more just care, and you know, they just really want to help you as much as they can, but they don't. You know, unless they're in your body, you can't, like you said, you just can't experience it. And yeah, spot on.
That's true. So then, and it plays with your mind. You get lost in your thoughts. You get lost in your thoughts, and you can't let your thoughts control you. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, because you're comparing yourself to your mates, and they're graduating early. They're going to the balls, and they're driving. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're traveling, and you're stuck in your home or in bed. And you want to do this. You want to go to I would quit on movies. They asked me to go to watch a movie, just to watch a movie at the theater, and I can't do it. Just to sit down and watch a movie theater. So yeah, I was pretty bad. I couldn't do that. I couldn't cook for myself. Though I remember it was still a point where I would wake up in the morning and then take a shower, and that's it. That's all I could do. Wake up, shower, go to bed.
Wow.
And that was my day, you know.
Man, you are doing so well.
Yes, I'm so happy. I am, and I really want other people who have been in my shoes or who are worse than I am. I'm sure that there is hope. There is. I lost all hope. I did, and because I used to be so optimistic. But once you're getting denied all the time, you try something, you lose hope because you're not succeeding. You don't see any result. Over time, you're going to lose hope. And I started losing hope. I thought I was the most optimistic person in the world. And there came a time I said, there's no hope. But there's hope. And just try and change your mind and research, find the most compatible, I guess, regimen for you. And you feel better. You will. And
I like the fact that you said don't let your mind control you, because what happens is we attach our thoughts and our beliefs to our being, and we go, that's who we are. So, you know, just the thought I am sick, then that makes you feel sick, and it becomes your identity. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. And you're right. You can't let your thoughts that's all I can say. Don't let it control you, because it can. You get into this deep, dark place, and you feel like there's no winning. You're stuck, and it's a really bad place to be.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is. Mentally, physically, it's exhausting. It really is. You're already exhausted as it is, physically, and just to have the mental side on it aspect. It's just, it makes it harder.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, and you know, we know, like, for fact that, you know, emotional stress causes physical symptoms in the body. So I'm going to ask you this, because, you know, rather than just do a surface kind of interview, let's talk about what you did to help yourself. So, like, with specifically that, like, you know, obviously the program that, you know, in the program there's a whole mindset module, and, you know, I talk about that, and, you know, not just about goal setting, but more about just like you said, getting your mind right. What worked for you? Like, how did you,
my mind?
Yeah, how did you kind of change it? And I guess it's not just about being positive, but like we were talking about before, like, how did you, you know, separate yourself from your thoughts, especially the ones that were detrimenting yourself and making you feel worse?
There was something that you said. You have to be. I almost had to tell myself, you have to be content with what you. You have to know that you're sick. You have to accept the fact that you are sick. And I wouldn't have it. I mean, I knew I was sick, but I really would not accept that I was sick. If that makes any sense. But after opening up to it, I think that's when I started changing or working. I think that was it. That's when I started working better towards the program
Because you
and
didn't,
sticking.
yeah, you didn't resist it.
Yeah.
Because if you resist, it persists, it persists.
And it's exhausting to
Yeah.
resist all the time.
But not just with illness, but everything in life.
That's true.
It's like a bad relationship. It's like, you constantly resisting, and then
Yeah.
boom. That's a whole
Yeah.
different topic. But like one thing that I like about you is that you didn't accept and go, oh, this is it. Like it's the end of my life. You went, I accept what's going on and like where I'm at right now, but like this is where I want to go. And you obviously had dreams and aspirations, and I think that's a really big part of life. And we all go through ebbs and flows in life, but you really had a reason to get out of where you were at.
Exactly. I've always been ambitious, and I know I won't get to where I want to achieve my goals if I'm in bed, and I knew I had to change something. But the fact that I had to not really embrace, but I guess understand the what I have. I think that's a key of recovery. Understanding and accepting this is where you are now, and then what are you going to do about it?
Yes, it doesn't have to be forever. It's not like it's acceptance without acceptance is not resignation, and that's what I teach you guys in the program. I like that. That's cool. I think you've obviously come a long way, and like the other fact that you stated is I think knowing that it's not going to happen overnight.
Oh yeah, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
It really took me, almost 2 years to get to where I am now, and now I'm going to the gym not really every day, but 4 times a week. That's for an hour-long workout, and I'm climbing mountains, and I'm hiking, and I'm working. I'm cooking for myself. This is great,
Holy
I'm not the best cook, but I can make eggs in the morning is amazing. It's the fact that I know I can wake up in the morning, I can take a shower, and then go beyond the shower, get dressed, and then do other things. That's a win. For me, it is.
That's a huge win. And you know what? It's so nice. Obviously, for me, it's just so nice to sit here and listen to you talk and just hear that, because like it's true. Like you forget how special those things are.
Exactly. It really, I know to normal people it seems so minute. All you do is take a shower. All you do is just a little cooking. But to us, it's a big deal to stand there in front of a stove and then flip something or pancake, whatever it is. It takes a lot of energy. It really does. It drains you. The fact that I can do that and then go shopping with my friends and walk around, and I don't have to think about, oh my gosh, I'm going to be tired later. I don't have to think about that anymore. I used to think about that all the time, and now that I think about it, oh my gosh, maybe last year I would have been very fatigued right now. I would have been in the car waiting for my friends coming out of the mall, or take a little break, go in the car and sit there. Sometimes I had to do that back in the day.
I was just going to say, like, was the progression a bit like that? Was it kind of like slow but steady increments over time?
It was, yes, it was slow and steady. Sometimes you get a little setback. I know I was getting frustrated, but I think too, the big change happened once I graduated from school. I had so much stress happening. The stress was up here.
Yeah.
And it's hard to deal with your life or recover when you have frequent stress. I know life has stress, but with the school that I had, it's a science major. You have lab reports, research, you have to go to the labs, you have to do this, you have to do that. So there's always something there that your heart is always palpitating, But once I graduated, that's when I started seeing a huge improvement. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So after the graduation, once the major stressor was out of my life, I started seeing just promising improvement like this.
And it was a bit like this at the start, and then it slowly just went up and up and up, and now, you're at a place now. Now, because there's going to be people listening from all over the world and in different situations, some who are going to be completely bedbound, which you were, but then there's going to be other people who are probably working, full time, but are still feeling really low. But it just goes to show that wherever, anything's possible. Like, even look at you, like, you're working as a pediatric nurse, which is quite a, stressful environment to be in. And especially, you're taking on a huge responsibility because you're caring for others. It's a very similar role to what I do. And any person who cares for another person, that's the highest responsibility role you can take in life, which means that not only do you have to focus on you, you have to focus on everyone else around you.
Exactly, because the parents depend on you. They call me every day asking me questions and what do I do? I'm a new mom, and is this serious? Should I be concerned? And you have to think about it. And yeah, no, you're right. But I can do it now. I can do it, and the doctors love the way I work. I love the doctors that I work with, and I'm getting compliments here because I'm always go go go. But I'm never, because I think people would say that you're lazy if you're at work because you're so tired, you really can't work, but to see that change happening, it's not because I was lazy, it's because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. One of the things I teach you guys in the program, and it was probably really relevant to you back then, was tell me what you can do, not what you can't do. And you've gone from barely anything to almost everything.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
And I still have to listen. And just like anyone, I think, and any normal human being, you do have your limits, and you do have to listen. Now I feel like I can listen to, just like maybe last week, I worked over. I worked over 10 hours that one day, and then my friend wanted to go out, and I said, well, maybe I should stay home just because I feel a little uneasy. Let's go ahead and just relax. Not because I was fatigued, I can't go, just because, but the fact that I knew I was going to wake up the next day, and I just didn't feel like pushing myself. And sometimes I think I still have in the back of my head, I don't want to go back where I was, but let me take it slow. So, you I think we just have to listen. Just like I think that's what I've learned. If anything, just listen.
Listen to within, huh?
I'm sorry?
Listen to within.
Yes.
That's so cool. It's good advice. It's nice to hear it back to me because, I'm coaching, thousands of people, but sometimes it's nice to get coached from the coach, eh? Now that you're a caregiver, you can give care to everyone else. It's true. And like, one thing's not forgetting where you came from, but health is a forever thing, and we must never forget that. And I think people, including myself from time to time, is we just forget about it, and we think that we're superhuman and that we don't have to listen.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why we feel so stressed and tired and burnt out.
Yes, and for example, I would say the major thing when I say listening to would be hunger. I think we can all, I guess we can, I don't know from where I work, I've seen I've seen that people working all day, they're doing, well, no, I'm hungry, but let me just keep going. And after that, you see them crash and burn, even though they're not like us.
Wow.
And I listen to my body, right? And then I just snack here and there, drink my little water. And if I skip that, I'm telling you, I feel like a different person.
Yep.
If I skip my meal or snack, your blood sugar level will drop. And then on top of everything else that you're maybe going through. So yeah, now that I know what to listen for, this or look for, it's much better. And sometimes I'll be having a conversation and I get a little, my mom will be, well, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I haven't eaten. That's what it is. Let me go ahead and eat something. That's all it was.
Wow. See, the simplest
Yeah.
things are the most important. And you know
It's
what?
very simple.
The funny thing is, you know, doctors are going to start coming to you because they're going to say, hey, Yvelle, I'm getting really tired. Like, what do I start doing? You know?
Yeah, maybe. If they do, I'll just say, just snack a little something, a little banana and peanut butter or something.
Yeah. And I think, like,
simple.
you make a good point, you know, like, and obviously, you know, I think one of the things that people really need to realize is that health is a holistic thing. It's fundamental, but there's keys to it. You know, sleep, like you said before, like you know, you did a 10-hour day. You could have gone out with your friend, but you realized you had to do stuff the next day, so you thought, no, I'm going to get some good sleep. You know, nutrition, again, that's a huge key component, huge. And we think we eat healthy, but we don't. You know, breakfast cereal boxes, man, like, you know, it's just full of sugar. Yeah.
It's just straight up sugar,
yeah. And we think that we're healthy, and then obviously, you know, having those rest breaks and listening to your body, but more importantly, you know, having that mindset right and going towards something in the right direction in the right way. And you are just you are like a picture of health right now. Like, you know, you are such an inspiration. Like, you are glowing. So, you know, people, you know, your story needs to be heard. And, like, you know, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with you later? You got a bright future.
Well, we'll see. Maybe in 2 years I'll be a nurse practitioner. That's my goal, or a physician assistant, something. That's my goal, and I know I can do it now. I was afraid before, and now I know I can do it.
Yeah, let's talk about some fears, because I know a lot of people have fears with getting better as well, because it can take a lot of responsibility to get there. You know, and a self-responsibility, and a lot of, you know, and because you've tried so many things, you just think nothing's going to work. You know, just like you did with me when you started the online program in, you know, last January. You were like, you know, probably even when you were starting, you were just doubting yourself and, like, you know,
Yeah, I was. I think people they don't want to be disappointed. You know, you just don't want to be disappointed. What's the point of trying anymore? Because no one believes me. No one understands what I'm going through. Even with a relationship, actually, you know, if a guy speaks with me or want to talk, I just push them away because I know what am I going to do? We can't go to the movies. I can't go out dancing. I can't go to the comedy club. I can't be awake for anything. What's the point of even putting someone else through that? Then I'm afraid to do anything. I think same goes with trying a new treatment, or because you're afraid of failure, and it does happen. Same with school, or whatever it may be. And same for me personally with school, I had to change my major. You know, I wanted to become but in a way though, I'm happy with that change. You know, things happen for a reason. I wanted to become a medical doctor, but now I'm okay with a nurse practitioner. But I was afraid. And even then, changing my major, I said, well, I don't think I can do it. I don't think so. And realistically, I think I was almost thinking, maybe logically speaking, who can survive medical school in that? I mean, with this physical being, there's no way. You're so sick. I know we think we can do it all, but there comes a point where you know you can't do it.
And so you got to make a decision based on the best interest of your health.
Right.
Cool. So with the fears, like, how did you overcome them? Was it just like by listening within and making the right decisions, or what was it for you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you were cutting off.
That's okay. So, with your fears, like, how did you overcome them? Like, what did you do to kind of, was it step by step? Was it like listening within? Was it just like slowly putting your foot forwards?
with me is I think I said I quit everything. Once I finished school, I said I quit. I didn't care anymore. So the fact that I let everything go, it felt like a weight being lifted off my shoulders. Maybe that's why I was able to come back to my goals and say I can do it now. I think it allowed me to focus on what's really important, which is myself, not the goals that I have. I mean, they're important too, but how are you going to achieve those goals if you're not feeling well? You see what I mean? Therefore, I said I quit. I don't care anymore. And once I started focusing on myself, that's when I started improving and everything. I thought, oh, maybe I can do this. And that's when I started realizing I can do it. You know?
Wow. So it's almost like you created space in your life, awareness almost.
I had to prioritize. I knew I was important, but I really was not devoting the time to focus on me, only me.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Good point. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things we talk about with our online clients now. Number one priority is you. It's I, we, all. And you need to focus on I, first, you. Because without you being in good shape, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it's very hard to help we around you, your closest inner circle, and then outside of that as well. You just you're not helping the planet. So it's and like you're just a perfect example of that. You've gone from I to we to all, and you're doing it, like you're living it. And I guess it's important to have those, to go back to those three things when you need to.
Exactly. So when you start prioritizing yourself, I don't think there's no stopping you now. Really, the major hurdle for me was focusing on myself, and I had so many other things that I wanted to do, so many things. I couldn't. There's no way. You can't do that.
I think the funny thing as well, we all get caught up in the whole stress of things, and we almost like bring it into our lives, and like, it's like we're in a state of panic because we're like, oh my God, I can't do everything. But really, like, we're just creating it ourselves instead of actually opening up and like peeling the layers back and saying, okay, like you've done, obviously it took time to get there, but you're like, okay, this is what I really, really, really need to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
Oh yes, I mean, I put so much pressure on myself. By 22, I have to accomplish this. By 24, I need to be this. Oh my gosh, I was no. And then when I said, you know what, I don't care anymore. I don't care. And then I did. I said I quit, and then I felt like I needed. If I didn't do it, I would probably be in bed.
See, that's some enlightenment there. Like, that's kind of like an epiphany, because we are so destination driven.
Yes.
That we forget to put our 2 feet on the ground and actually look down sometimes and go, oh, we're here. I know in my life, I go through periods of where I'm like, obviously creating the program, and as you've seen, it's a huge thing. It's not just a small, crappy, program. You're running miles and miles ahead, and then it's like, oh my God, like, where am I? Who am I?
Exactly. You have to stop and smell the roses. And, now that I'm feeling better, I can actually smell better. I see better. I see crisper. It's no joke, okay? I go outside. It's like there was a fog or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's like I have new lenses or something.
Yeah, you've got a new
that's
life.
how it feels. I'm sorry?
You've got a new life.
I do. I have a new life, and it's amazing. It's amazing to go from being such a. I feel we were suffering, man. We're suffering.
Yeah.
People like us. It's unfair, but you do what you have to do. You have to get better. You can do it.
Now, I just want to pick you on that one, because it's unfair. Now, I wrote a post last night about the unconscious versus the conscious human being, and I said the unconscious person is the victim of life. It's unfair. Why me? My life, sucks. They've got it easier. I'm unlucky. And then the conscious person is the person that goes, okay, this has happened, but what can I do now? They ask better questions. They say, what is my next best step? This has happened, I accept it, but I'm not going to resign to the fact that this has happened to me. And they find a solution rather than a problem. Now, both, I know for myself, but you as well, we have been on the other side of the conscious living. We've been in the unconscious living of being the victim. This is unfair. Why me? I give up. I can't do it. I don't want to get better. I hate the world.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Yes. I mean, you're only human. You can only be so strong for so long, and then your mind goes like this. You feel like you can do it, and then after that, you just feel like you'll never get better. You're living two personalities, two different side of the token. I don't know how to explain it.
No, you did. You explained it really well. It's so true. Like, maybe that's a message out there for guys, because I know there's a lot of people, who do the program and it's outside of the program who are probably watching this. They're so hard on themselves to always, they're trying to be positive, and it's not working, and they're resisting that, and it's making them feel worse. That's causing the suffering on top of the suffering. So it's almost just like let go and just drop it.
Yes. Just say, you know what, I don't care. Just let everything go. I know it's hard. We have bills. But I had to think how I'm going to do this. I needed to, if I know people have kids. Thank God I don't have kids right now. But anyways,
it's a different story.
You have to find a way to let everything go. It's not. You have to be. I know it sounds harsh. You have to be selfish. You have to, because if you're not selfish, I feel like you're going to die. I felt like I was dying. And if you don't do that, you can't take care of everyone else. You have to be selfish. And that's what I had to do. I had to become selfish.
Unselfishly selfish.
Yeah.
Yes, because
obviously
there's a lot of people benefiting from you being well again and being selfish, if that makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't be saving lives, saving children's lives, and helping all these parents and your friends and your mum, if you weren't well. So, man, you sure you don't want a job at CFS Health? You could be a good coach, I think.
I'll come visit, though.
Yeah. You are welcome anytime. You are welcome to Australia anytime.
Oh, thank you. I'm recording this.
Good. Well, it's recorded, so it's been said on camera that you are welcome to Australia anytime, and vice versa. I'll have to come over to Florida.
Yes, come to Tampa.
Oh, Tampa, yeah. I heard that the beaches are amazing there.
Yes, Sarasota is the #1 beach in the whole U.S. and it's only an hour away. That's where my mom lives, actually.
Cool.
Before I moved here, that's where I used to live. So then we'll go to Siesta Key. That's what it's called, Siesta Key.
So you're living by yourself?
I'm living with my sister.
Wow, cool. So practically independent living. Like you don't. Your mum doesn't care for you. You're doing it all.
Oh no. I pay my bills. I pay my car. I buy my groceries. Oh my gosh, I can grocery shop now. Okay. So I pay for everything. My mom, she was actually here last week. She visited. She cooked, but I would have cooked for her too.
Mums do that.
Before I cleaned everything, and I didn't pass out. So that was good.
No, this is really good. This is really real, and just daily activities like cleaning and cooking and showering and stuff. Like people who have got chronic fatigue syndrome and ME, they know that. Like they feel that. Like I remember just like literally putting clothes on the line used to wipe me out for a whole day.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So
Oh yes.
it's good for people to have that insight, but more importantly to see you shining bright as well. And I think that's one of the reasons you reached out to me last week to let me know how much you've improved, and you said thank you and you're grateful. And I said, well, that's amazing. I said, well, let's do an interview about it because like people need to hear these kind of stories. And you're like, oh no.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I was nervous, guys. I did not want to do this. But the fact that if anyone is going to benefit from this, me sitting in front of a camera, I can do it.
Good. People ask me all the time, they go, how did you do it all? Like, how did you set this whole thing up? How did you get a center? Like, how have you coached thousands of people? And it just brings me back to the one point of the pain that I went through on my own with no help was so excruciating. Like, it gives me tingles down my spine sometimes that, that gave me enough strength, and it was like a superpower almost to whatever obstacle came in my way to set this up and to create the online program, create the center over the past 7-8 years, write a book, travel around the world and help coach people. It was the pain that I went through on my own that made me realize that I didn't want anyone else to suffer in the pain alone.
Exactly. It's and I think we do not encounter many people who is going through this. The fact that we can unite in a special, society, I'll call it, that someone is just like me who understand, because you're right. No one else can understand unless you've gone through it. The fact that there are other beings out there that are going through this, it makes the battle that much, I think, a little bit less, just maybe the journey a little bit easier to go through.
Absolutely. I say to the guys, I say, it's not easier. It just makes it more simple.
Yeah.
My job's to make life, the process a lot more simple, rather than trial and error and like you were on the journey before you started the program. You said, you were bedbound, you just couldn't do anything. All you could do is have a shower and go back to bed, and it's just, it's just, you've just come such a long way. Now, we're going to wrap this up soon, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. So, first of all, what would you say to someone suffering out right now? Like, what's one thing that you'd love just to share with them and share the knowledge and just tell them one thing? Like, is it, what's your message to these people? Can be anything.
Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope, and don't be defeated, I would say.
Cool. Awesome. Don't. Stay alive.
Stay alive. The battle is real, but you can do it.
Good. Good advice. For the people who aren't in the program and are sitting on the fence and are wondering, just like you were, I'm a bit skeptical, like, is it even going to help? Or, I've done it all before. What would you say to those people? What would you say to those people who are thinking about doing the program but are unsure?
Are you talking about people who are not sick?
No, people who are watching right now who have been suffering, have tried lots of different things but haven't joined the program.
What do you have to lose, really? That's what I would say. You have nothing to lose, and I felt like it's an investment for yourself, and really, it's your health worth. I don't know how much the program is. I forgot.
Yeah.
I paid it off for a long time ago, but really, it's your health. You have nothing to lose. If you're desperate enough, I hate to use that word, but we're fighting for our lives here. Then you have nothing to lose.
You'll do what it takes.
I'm sorry?
You'll do what it takes.
You will. You would. And I think anyone who wants at least change their life just a little bit, this is not a cure overnight, oh my gosh. But if you want to understand your health or your physique and everything else, and you want to change that around, I think it's something worth considering. Yeah.
Another question. This is interview Yvelle time. Was it worth it? Was you doing the program worth it?
Oh, 10 times, million times over, yes. Oh yes, it was.
Mm.
I would have been, gosh, just picturing it. I'm going back to where I was before I contacted you, and the way I felt, it's almost unbelievable, you know. Yes, it was, because if not, I would have not been a nurse, and I would have not graduated. I would have probably been bedbound. Yes. Oh yes, that's the easiest question.
All right, you can come to Australia now. I want to give you a big hug.
Okay, I'm coming.
No, it's just so good to see your face and like just to see how much you've improved and you know you are now a beacon of light for other people. Could you believe that? And you know the funny thing is you're helping so many more people already.
I hope so. I really do. I really do. I would have. I never. I wish that everyone would be so healthy and never would have never have to go through what we're going through. I mean, I just feel so bad for anyone who is feeling the way I was feeling. I feel so bad. I almost want to cry because I understand. I truly, truly, truly understand. You're suffering. You know, you're in a torment. No, I understand. So if someone says, you know, Yvelle, I watched the video with your interview in it, and this is the reason why I started. Oh my gosh, and your life has changed. Please contact me. Give me a big hug. I'll give you a big hug. I would love that.
We've got a pretty good family, don't we, here at CFS Health?
Yeah,
It's a good community. Now, just before you finish, I just want to ask you, what are 3 things you would give as advice for people who, you know, are struggling? What just like 3 things to take away from what you've learned over the last 2 years, and just stuff that you would, you know, maybe pass on.
I would say first, don't lose patience, and food is really important. Food. Oh my gosh, food is important. And something else I would suggest. What did I really struggle with? Don't lose the reason. Don't lose don't lose the end. How would I say this? You know, when you're running and at the end there's a finish line, and you feel so good at the end. I don't know how to explain it, but this you just know at the end you will feel better.
Wow.
So don't lose sight of that.
Yeah,
basically.
cool. It's good to have an end destination, but it's important what you do in the journey.
Exactly.
Here we are, guys. This chick's gone from bedbound, completely wiped out, gave up everything, and now is literally helping the world. You know, because you know not only are you helping people through this interview, but your job actually you're helping thousands of people, because not only are you affecting that one child or those hundreds of children, you're helping their parents, and then you're helping their grandparents, and then you're helping their community. So thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for being part of my program. You know, this is one of the best parts about my job, is just to see people like you blossom and go on further than ever probably imagined in your life. And you know, I wish you every single bit of blessing and you know to yeah.
Thank you. No, and also I want to thank you, because if it wasn't for you, if you didn't have the guts to do this, I would have been lost. So I really appreciate that, because I don't think there are so many. I don't think there's enough people out there who know about you, and they should, because it's hard to do this by yourself. It really is. And so then I thank you for having the guts to do this.
Thank you. You see, you know, pain turns into bliss, and that's one of the biggest life lessons. You know, I continue to learn, is that whatever pain and stuff we go through in life, it's there to turn it into bliss eventually. And you know, your greatest defeat was your greatest success.
Exactly.
You know, and just as much as mine. Like, my success is to be able to see someone like you do what you're doing now. So Man, we're just full of love this morning. It's Saturday morning here. It's what, Friday afternoon there, is it?
It's Friday night. It's 8:40 p.m. over
Oh my
here.
God! All right. Well, that's it. You got to go and enjoy yourself now. Thank you so much for this
Uh-huh.
interview. You are amazing, and I'll see you in Australia.
Yes. And then you come here and we go to the beach, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Yvelle.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.